what you're saying is that black people are dumb and stupid. All black people are dumb and stupid, and all black people don't know how to manage money. So when they get their hands on a bunch of money, they're gonna blow it.
Yeah.
So they don't deserve reparations. So you might as well say that they don't need to work a job,
right?
Because they're gonna blow their paycheck.
Exactly.
Today, we really want to address the California reparations that's being talked about, and it's been talked about for quite some time now. We want to talk about the argument for reparations, and I want to call out these black YouTubers as well as a few of these black celebrities who are against reparations. So I want to post an argument regarding reparations. We want to talk a lot about it. This is not going to be a short video. I really have an issue. We really have an issue with our own people dogging out other blacks because of reparations. If you guys know that one celebrity, Faizon Love, came out when he was asked about reparations. He basically said that, and I'm not going to use the words that he used, but the curse words that he used, he basically said that all black people are going to do is take those reparations, they're going to take that money, and they are going to go just blow it on Cadillacs, cars, and other material things. Another black YouTuber basically said the same thing, or agreed with what Faizon Love said, and maybe a few other ones. I find it absolutely terrible that it's bad enough you have on the other side of the fence, you have other races of people who are totally coming against reparations, saying all sorts of stuff, going on TikTok, making all of these videos, talking about blacks do not need reparations, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, they can't stand the fact that blacks may get reparations, a whole lot of bad things that they've been saying. And we wanna talk about this because I think that people aren't getting it. We wanna talk about the whole argument of people saying, well, slavery happened a long time ago. But what people don't understand, that it's more than just slavery. Right. It's more than just slavery. And we're going to also talk about the $200,000+ that the California Task Force is talking about trying to get black people. Again, it's not going to be a long video. I want you guys to really hear us out. If you have to pause this video several times, or if you have to just wait till you have a break in your day that you're able to sit and watch the video all the way through, then by all means do that. But I want you guys to really hear us out. Hear what we have to say about these possible reparations. Right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that most people say that, well, slavery happened a long time ago. True enough, slavery happened a long time ago, but the racial disparities has been going on ever since then as well. And the other thing is this: reparations is supposed to not only address the issues with slavery, but it's supposed to address the racial disparities and a persistent wealth gap. So let's look at this real quick. Now, the median wealth of black households in the United States is only $24,000 compared to $188,000 for white households, according to the Federal Reserve Board. Now, a preliminary report showed how enslaved black people were forced to California during the gold rush era. and how in the 1950s and 60s, racially restrictive covenants and redlining segregated black Californians in many of the state's largest cities. Okay, we're going to get more into that. So, the California task force has identified 5 areas here. One of the areas is housing discrimination. Housing discrimination has been going on for umpteen ages. It's still going on now. Again, you have your ghettos. That's a big reason why you have your ghettos. Mass incarceration, unjust property seizures, and health care, as well as devaluation of black businesses. Now, I want to go to, again, another argument where people are saying, okay, if black people get reparations, it's going to cause animosity with white people, other racial groups. But there's already animosity. It's been animosity for ages, for the longest time. Think about this, guys. I want you guys to really, please think about this. Why is it, especially even in 2022, where a lot of hate crime was coming up against the beautiful Asian community and the beautiful LGBTG community? The president, as well as the governor of New York, they came up with this massive plan, protections in place for the Asian community, and they gave billions of dollars to the Asian community, to the LGBT community. Why is it every time there's talks of black people getting something, including reparations, it's an outcry?
It's a big stink.
Everybody is just so against it. It's really sad. Think about it. Why is that? You hear people saying, oh, blacks getting reparations. Oh, not my tax dollars. I want my tax dollars going towards that. I don't know. No, you got to be crazy. But the beautiful Jewish community, Asians, when they get money, no one says anything about, oh, well, my tax dollars, I don't want my tax dollars going to that. I don't want my tax dollars going to this. No way. No. It's no big stink, except for when it's black people.
Right.
And then you black people, not all of you, but some of you black people in power, celebrities, and some of you black YouTubers, got your nerve to go against reparations, got your nerve to go against black people getting something. It's absolutely terrible. You're going against your own people. So like I was saying before, that reparations is not just about slavery. It's supposed to address the racial disparities and persistent wealth gap, which I just ran through that with you guys. Now, another thing is that because of slavery and after slavery, of course, obviously we know the hatred towards black people and there was slavery. And yeah, there's an argument, well, black people had slaves. I don't care if black people, red people, green people had slaves. It was wrong.
Exactly.
I don't care what color your skin is. It was wrong to have slaves.
And it was sanctioned on this land. And
exactly.
So.
And the argument about, oh, well, there was no slaves in California. There were slaves in California before California became a state, but that's a whole nother issue right there.
Right.
So let's talk about things that happened. Let's talk about the effects from slavery. And just even after slavery, the fact that black people were still treated like crap. Again, with the racial discrimination, all of that stuff, were treated like crap through the years. So we have incidences, many incidences where black lands was seized. The government seized black people's land. So there was a particular parcel in Manhattan Beach, and I believe it was nicknamed Bruce Beach. It was bought, I think, back in, 1921 or 1924 for like $1,225. Now it is valued at over $70 million. Not too long ago, black people were able to get that land back. The land was given back to black family, to the the grandchildren, the great grandchildren of the family of the property that was seized. So that was a blessing right there. So now let's talk about this. In 1945, there was like this blight law. A blight law was formed, allowing officials, listen to this, allowing officials to use eminent domain to destroy black communities, including shuttering more than 800 businesses and displacing 4,700 households in the San Francisco Western Addition beginning in the 1950s.
Wow.
Let's talk about it a little bit more. So it was a place called the Russell City. Russell City was located in the San Francisco area in Alameda County. It was a thriving community. It was growing. There was a lot of mom and pop shops, a lot of mom and pop businesses, other businesses that were growing, getting bigger. Was family, a lot of black family. They were like really thriving. But so then the officials over there, they want to build a freeway. So they want to build the I-210 freeway through there. So they want to build the path, basically through the black business district.
Wow.
So what they were doing, they were offering residents only $75,000 for less than the minimum cost to buy a new home for their old homes that they already had.
Wow.
So what happened? They end up just moving black folks on out of there because they built a freeway. See, Russell City was a place where black people, they were fleeing, it was a place where they were fleeing to from, of course, the racial tension and the discrimination down there in the South, all the terror that was going on. That was a place for them to flee to. So for whatever reason, there was like mysterious arsonists. This is really crazy. So you had this thriving community, they were growing, but you had these mysterious arsonists, and they were basically setting dozens of fires. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Exactly.
Tulsa. What was going on down in Tulsa? They were setting homes on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Those are some of the things that was going on. So they basically destroyed the mom and pop neighborhoods. They eventually bulldozed the whole area, the whole street, the neighborhood. They put the I-210 freeway through there. And so then it basically became a place called Hayward. Hayward, that's in Alameda County.
Wow. I mean, first, here's the thing too, and let's actually get something really clear here, and that is the definition of reparations. If I can here we go. Let's get really clear as far as the definition of reparations. Okay, this is according to the Oxford Dictionary: the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. Okay? Second part of that is the compensation for war damage paid by a defeated state. So again, going back to the first one, the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. I'm sorry, but it's really cut and dry here. Okay, it's crystal clear, cut and dry. Not only, and if it was only about slavery, so be it. That was a wrong that was done. But it's gone, and it's even more than that. Like Todd said, it's not just about slavery. It's about the continued systemic racism, the system that is in place even up until this day, that we are all participating in, whether we're conscious of it or not, that we as black people are basically discriminated against, disparaged, and all this other stuff. So for people to say and have that argument of, oh, well, yeah, blacks are just going to do this and blacks are just going to do that. Oh, we don't need that money. That's not going to help us, or whatever the case may be. I don't curse anymore, but I say that's definite BS. And it just absolutely doesn't make a bit of sense. It's just ridiculous. I mean, here's the thing, and I'm not sure if you had anything else to add, but let me just go over some arguments, like Todd, just kind of reiterating on some points that he made of these YouTubers and, our own people coming out and saying things that actually either have no business being said in public. It should be town hall black conversations, or that just absolutely doesn't even apply in this situation. So number one argument, quote unquote, giving us money will not help black people with their problems. Well, first of all, going back to the definition of reparations, it's not about giving us money. It's about a debt that is owed. It's not about giving. It's about paying what's owed.
Exactly.
So, the narrative of blacks being quote unquote given money to help bridge even the narrative of, being given money to bridge the wealth gap and all this other stuff is actually an irrelevant. It's a moot point, excuse me. Because technically, again, it's not about being given money. This money is owed to us, whether there was a wealth gap or not. Actually, think about it. Even if the powers that shouldn't be did not come into our ancestors' areas and destroy Tulsa, was it Russell, and confiscate land and property and all this other stuff. Say they didn't even do all of that stuff, okay? Say they actually didn't do those things that they really did do, and we were in a better position financially, they would still owe us reparations.
Exactly.
They would still owe us reparations because of the labor and the things that they did to our ancestors that they never ever made us as their descendants whole from. They never made them whole. They kept it going. It's been going on for all this time. They would still owe reparations. It's something that's owed, okay? So it's about righting an egregious wrong, finally, after 400 plus years. It's long overdue, first of all.
And this argument where, people are saying, okay, well, reparations, that's not going to solve the problem. No one never said that it was going to solve the problem or it's supposed to solve the problem.
It's a due. It's a debt. It's something that is owed. It's not even about, quote unquote, solving a problem. It's about pay me what you owe us. Like, you owe us this money. Because,
you can try to make it right.
Right.
That's the whole point. Trying to make it right, because you can't erase anything. You can try to make it right. Just like, okay, if you're in a relationship or something and you cheat on your significant other, and they find out 10 years, 20 years later, or whatever down the line, and you're like, okay, what can I do? Let me do something to just try to, I know I can't erase what happened, but let me try to do something to make it right. Let me just offer something, for your pain and suffering, for all the stuff that has caused you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same thing in this scenario right here.
Right. Again, it's about repair, okay? It's about making amends. Like, that's period and point blank in the story as far as that. So another argument that our own people are saying, as far as, out on these quote unquote YouTube and social media streets, is this. Well, if blacks, if we mismanage our money now, more money's not going to help us. And here's the thing. The talking point, there was one show I was watching, and I honestly don't remember who it was, or I don't know who it was, but I just happened to hear this person say this, and their argument was, well, yeah, 95% of blacks, are just gonna, this is our own people, 95%, I don't know where he got that number from, but 95% of blacks would just basically squander their reparations money away. And so basically, it's irrelevant. It doesn't make any sense, or whatever the case may be.
Stereotyping blacks.
Exactly.
It's like other races do. They stereotype us.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Actually, that talking point, 95% of blacks, so-called 95% of blacks will squander their reparations, is actually, once again, it's irrelevant, okay? It's irrelevant in this situation, because even if that were the case, It doesn't matter. It's about something that is owed to us. It is not about, oh, well, we need to qualify and see, quantify what we're going to, so we're going to give. It's not a loan. Like, we don't have to fill out a freaking application to get this as far as that's concerned. Like, it's not about that. This is about repairing something. This is about making amends. Like, you brought our ancestors over here, or whatever the case may be, put them through the ringer. I mean, did some egregious things that we don't even want to think about to this day, to, our ancestors that we don't even know intimate details, not to mention, I mean, just from everything you think of, pulling our ancestors apart, raping, sodomizing, feminizing.
And throwing their children to the alligators to animals.
The crocodiles. I mean, all this type of stuff, making, our ancestors nurse their children, okay, while they went off and lived their life, like working us to the bone, pitting us against each other, like all types of stuff. Okay, so it's about righting a wrong, all right? And let's ask yourself this question. Here's an interesting point that I thought about too. If the powers that shouldn't be knew or felt or thought, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter because, we already know that 95% of them, they're just going to squander their money anyway. In other words, it's going to come right back into our pockets. Don't you think that they would have just paid up by now? If they knew it was going to come right back to them, what would they have to lose?
Right.
So think, people, okay? Use your brain. They know that even if that were the case, where quote unquote 95% of us would just squander our reparations money, they're scared of the 5% that won't. Because they know that there's power in small numbers. And if the 5% are unified and come together and actually do something and build something for our communities, they're terrified of that.
So, y'all hear that?
Okay, they're
y'all
terrified
hear what she
of
just
that.
said?
Think about it. They know our power more than we know our power. So for people who say these, asinine things, think like you are being programmed, conditioned, and brainwashed, and you don't even realize it. You're thinking small, and here it is. It's like a chess game. They're looking at the board, and you think they're playing chess, you playing checkers. Like, that's how I look at it. So that's
even if they do blow their money. So what? That's none of your business.
So what?
That's none of your business. They can do whatever they want with their money. Like, you can do whatever you want with your money.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you've blown plenty of money.
Right.
I mean, if you spending money on McDonald's during lunch break every day, you're blowing your money.
Exactly.
So I don't understand. Like, what is it? So what you're saying is that you're saying that black people are dumb and stupid. All black people are dumb and stupid, and all black people don't know how to manage money. Mm-hmm. So when they get their hands on a bunch of money, they're gonna blow it.
Yeah.
So they don't deserve reparations. So you might as well say that they don't need to work a job,
right?
Because they're gonna blow their paycheck.
Exactly.
That doesn't even make any sense at all. Then you have other races. They're going on TikTok and YouTube, and they're saying, "Oh, black people just want a handout. They just want a handout because they don't want to work." Black people are working. What the heck are you talking about?
Exactly. And here's the thing with that,
people say the most ignorant, dumbest things ever.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but we're sounding off on that because we are sick and tired of it's bad enough. We have other races of people constantly dogging black people out. Then you have the select few black people dogging each other out. This ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And so $200,000 or $300,000. What is wrong with black people getting that?
Right.
What is wrong with it? That is an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Because there's still a lot of black people who don't have much. There's black people who actually have dreams. Thank you very much. There's black people who've been having dreams since they were a child and never achieved their goals, never had their dreams fulfilled, but still looking to fulfill dreams. There's people that's in their 70s mm-hmm. that's depressed because they still haven't lived out their dreams.
Right.
So think about it. 200 some thousand, 300, whatever it is, even 100,000, that can bless somebody.
Right.
That can, make somebody's dreams come true. In other words, they can take that money, invest, or do what they've always been wanting to do all their life. Don't take that away from people.
Exactly.
What's wrong with blessing people?
Right.
But no, we have these ignorant, selfish people against their own people. Oh, black people, they don't deserve, they don't need that. They're going to just blow it all. They don't need, it's sad.
And it is absolutely ridiculous and sad, because my thing is this: I wouldn't care if a family got that money and they took their kids to Disneyland or Disney World every weekend because they've never been on a family vacation.
Exactly.
For the entire time that they've been in existence here. Okay? So what? It's none of your business. And again, it's about something that is old. It's not about, this is not a loan. This is not a business loan. This is not some type of, what's the ROI and all that. No, it's none of your business what people do with their money, actually. So that is just absolutely ridiculous. Here's another argument that I'm just like, come on now. We need to solve our community problems first, such as establish institutions, solve our trust issues with each other, love ourselves, stay within our race, et cetera, et cetera. This was stated by, and I'm going to just call it out, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Oh, my goodness.
In one of his interviews that he did on some particular platform or podcast or whatever the case may be. And here's the thing with that, which is absolutely just astounding to me. Here's what I don't understand. The establishment of institutions, correct me if I'm wrong, and infrastructure requires money. It requires money, okay? And if you are asking people, which we're on basically the bottom of the totem pole as black folks, and I'm saying as collectively, if you're asking people to quote unquote establish things and put things together, put things in place or whatever the case may be, and yet the majority of people live in paycheck to paycheck, please explain how that's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
How is that supposed to happen? How is that supposed to happen unless it's going to take another 100-some years for us to get that together, when you can actually rally behind the push for reparations and say, hey, let's organize some stuff so we can prepare for this reparations money so that we can build the infrastructure, whatever the case may be. And here's the thing. Lack of money actually is a direct route for increased crime, domestic issues, educational, political, social disparities, health disparities. Okay, the main driving force, think about it, for chattel slavery was money, was economics. Okay, they needed some free labor, went over there, rounded up our ancestors, worked them to the bone, paid them nothing, put them in little shanty housing or whatever the case may be. It was for money. So money would absolutely help. Okay, like that's just absolutely ridiculous. Here's another point. And this was another ridiculous point that this person made on some podcast. This was another person. There's nothing holding blacks back now. We have opportunities and programs to help us, like affirmative action. That was one of the things they named.
Goodness gracious.
We can get our own reparations. Let me counter that by saying this. As long as we're operating in and dependent on the system of white supremacy, which we are operating in, whether you realize it or not, we as a group will continue to be held back, okay? Systemically, as proven by countless incidences of racial discrimination when it comes to banking, home ownership, appraisals for homes. You've seen the stories.
Yep.
Business loans getting denied for no reason. And there was actually a white person came on his platform and confirmed that, because he was in banking for years. And he confirmed that we would come in there and get denied for loans, while his counterparts, would not even qualify for stuff. And they would get the wink and a nod like, oh, we know that you're good for it. So that's another area. Business loans, employment applications. We've done an experiment ourselves as far as that. Some of them, hey, you're black, you won't get a call back.
Exactly.
There was a story that was on the internet that someone posted, an HR recruiter, and she was working with a company, and the person told her, who was white, told her, hey, in so many words, don't send me any black people. Okay? And so she went in person, to the person's surprise, she went in person to speak to this business owner. And of course, to the business owner's surprise, the person she was dealing with was black. And that's the one that she told her, don't send her any black people. So this stuff still exists today. Okay?
Exactly.
It still exists today. Yes, we still win as far as, in certain areas because of who we are, not because there aren't obstacles, not because there's not anything holding us back. It's because of who we are as a people. We are fighters. We are strong. We are, survivors, so to speak. So, and oh my gosh, and remember, affirmative action that we have this, that, and the other, affirmative action. Miss me with that, because affirmative action actually overwhelmingly benefits white women. Look it up.
Yep.
Okay, look it up, please. So, in summary, keep in-house concerns in-house. Yes, we have some work to do as far as in the black community when it comes to finances, when it comes to knowing, quote unquote, what to do with our money. But you on these platforms, Dr. Umar Johnson, Faizon Love, and all these other people, whatever the case may be, you got something to say. Use your so-called influence and power and organize some people, some financial experts to come together and do forums, classes, or whatever the case may be, saying, hey, in preparation for reparations, here's something that you need to come to. Here's what we're teaching. Here's what we're doing as far as that. Okay, don't sit up here and just go on these platforms and give talking points to the opposite side, to the opposers of reparations, and give them talking about, that's true. They're going to just waste the money. They're going to do this. They don't deserve it. So, stop it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
It's just sad. Like, you don't even want to don't want black people to even have a chance, the ones who still really didn't have a chance. There are still people who are struggling. It's just really sad. Like, what is, again, wrong with blessing people? But again, you don't say anything when other people get blessed, when other races of people get blessed. You don't say anything at all. But every time it's something to do with black people, it's a big uproar. And it has to stop.
Exactly.
It has to stop. Stop dogging out your own people. Stop it. Stop going on social media dogging out your own people. Oh, they're just going to blow it on material things. They're going to blow it on Cadillacs. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Okay. The other races of people, they blow money on things too.
All the time. All the time.
Stop making it seem like blacks are just the worst on this planet.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's, I'm just really annoyed because I'm like really tired of when we should be. It's just terrible because back in the day, in the 50s and the 60s, black people, they stuck together.
Right.
They stuck together. They stood together. Everything. Now, look what black people are doing now. Going against each other. Dogging each other. It's so bad now. You have black people so, well, I don't want to date a light-skinned man, or I don't want to date a light-skinned woman. I don't want to date a dark-skinned woman. I don't want to date dark-skinned man. Just all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Light-skinned versus dark-skinned. Just things like that. Oh, I don't want to date my race. I don't want to date. I want to date outside my race.
Right.
Just all this stuff.
Right.
It's just crazy.
It really makes no sense. And again, we have to have some decorum about ourselves, about the things that are going on in our community, and stop going on social media, airing out all of our dirty laundry.
Exactly.
We need to have conversations in-house just like everybody else does. You don't see, any other racial groups or whatever the case may be coming on here saying this, that, and the other en masse like we do.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, come on. It's just ridiculous.
And, you people, some of you YouTubers, black YouTubers, and these celebrities that's speaking against reparations, you're speaking out of ignorance.
Yeah.
Ignorance isn't necessarily, the word ignorant is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm ignorant to a lot of things myself.
Right.
So ignorant means not knowing.
Right.
But you're saying a lot of stuff, not even knowing what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like
not even knowing. You're just thinking about the negative things, but you don't think about the positive
Solutions.
things, the positive benefits that money could have on people.
Right.
And a lot of you guys that are speaking against reparations in terms of celebrities and people that's higher up, you already have money. You have lots of money.
Right.
And then your other argument is, well, there's black people who are already making it, who are already striving, doing real good. That's so true.
Great.
But you're saying, so they don't need. You're saying that they don't need, any more money.
That is such small-minded thinking. And see, that's the thing. They want you to think small like that. They want you to think, oh, well, what about the people that are quote unquote already have money? More money is not going to hurt them.
Exactly.
They would do something. Think about it. Come on.
Because it's going to build generational wealth for their families.
Don't you think that those people that quote unquote already have money would welcome new money into their lives as far as that's concerned, and then turn it into something even greater?
Right.
Like, what is that? That doesn't make any sense.
You can invest, buy properties, all that stuff. Just the whole thing is, don't you want, I'm speaking to black folks, don't you want to be able to build generational wealth? Don't you want to be able to buy land, have the opportunity to really buy, whether it's land or real estate properties or some type of investment, something, and build generational wealth for your families and their families to come? Don't you want to do that? So why in the world would you speak against black people getting, and even $200,000? That's still nothing.
Still nothing.
That's still nothing. It's something to work with, but considering all blacks has been through, the repercussions and the redlining, all the stuff, the suffering black people are going through now, the whole George Floyd thing, all the other stuff, it's crazy. But again, here it is that the racial tension that was towards the Asian community, the president and other leaders, they jumped up and ran and signed something in the law protecting them real fast. But black folks been going through this stuff for umpteen centuries, and for a long time.
Right. And I'm sorry, but no offense to anyone in the Asian community, nothing like that.
Yeah, we love everybody.
But here's the thing. Here's the facts. You can look on the FBI website, and that particular, surge that they were talking about was really minuscule, to be totally honest. It was so minuscule when they were talking about this surge of, Asian hate crimes and all this other stuff. It was so minuscule. And I'm not obviously condoning any type of hate crimes, none whatsoever against any group. Obviously, because we in the black community have overwhelmingly, year after year after year after year, blacks have had the highest amount of course, hate crimes committed against us. So again, just the bottom line is this. Like Todd said, when it comes to us, why is it always a problem? When it comes to everybody else, why is it like a hand clap almost? Including, Ukraine, including outside of our own country. It just doesn't make any sense. Why not have solutions? Let's say, hey, we're going to prepare for reparations. We're going to use Dr. Claude Anderson's books as textbooks, like the man has written them like 25 years ago, for what we can do in the black community and just get it over and just get it together. Exactly.
You guys, please let us know what you think. Let's have this conversation. Let's open this conversation up.
Exactly.
You guys tell us what you think down in the comment section. We love to hear back from you. We love to hear your thoughts. If you're black, white, whatever you may be, put your thoughts, whether it's good or bad, in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe all over social media. If you don't have social media, share anyway. And we are out.
Peace.